We're rolling. We're bug-free. Yeah. It's
Nice.
podcast number 7, and hopefully we won't get 2 minutes and it starts, but I'll know this time right away.
How will you know?
Because I'll hear it.
Oh, you'll hear it. Oh, okay.
Headphones.
This is a little different. I was talking to JJ. He was saying it like our normal podcast sounds just like we just turn a mic on in the middle of a conversation.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, we're like, okay, the mics work.
But it started out that way.
Exactly. Had I hit record 5 seconds earlier, that effect would have been, oh, don't start yawning now. We got a long way to go.
Get the extra oxygen in.
Tonight is the night of the, I don't know how many annual Scream-O-Rama, but we're going to be attending it.
Let's see.
Ray is indisposed, but we have Mark here this week.
It's holding its...
Who will not only be filling in on the podcast, he will be filling in at the Scream-O-Rama tonight. So,
yeah, it's pretty cool. This is the 8th annual
I thought it was
all-night Scream-O-Rama.
I've attended about 5 of them now.
I had wanted to go this, but I wasn't really expecting to tonight until
just
I
like,
walked.
just like the other one.
Just like that, exactly.
And that was the one where we met Judith O'Day from...
I just stopped.
There, okay. Like I was saying, like the original Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I got lost.
Oh, but you were saying Phantasm was right in the middle of this.
That's what it seems like, yeah. That's the one I'm looking forward to. And then that Manitou.
Oh, yeah, they're throwing that weird one at us at like 5 in the morning.
Yeah, second to
Let's
last.
just make sure, see if are you still with us?
Well, that one's crazy.
still awake?
You seen the trailer for that, Mark?
They got coffee down there. For which one?
Well, they got coffee
They
at
got
Circle
coffee
K.
and beer, and they got everything
They got
down there.
Pizza,
beer.
That's all I'll be living off of.
Yeah.
God, pizza. That was
I'm
one,
like-
we had a discussion about major food groups. Pizza's my first major food group ever.
Oh, yeah.
2, 3, 4.
And they're going to be holding a second one this year. There's going to be another
Very
Scream-O-Rama.
crazy. I can't wait. I enjoy these at 2 a year.
Well, maybe it's the start of something new. That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, there's certainly enough movies to choose from.
Yeah, my bass player John said he was gonna go to this. So I don't know. I don't have his number. I can't call him, see what's going on.
Well, as the herd thins out, we'll
He drove right
definitely
by us,
see
man.
him.
We'll probably see him when we're there.
Yeah.
We should mention that he drove right by. I
He
waved
did.
back.
I didn't see him.
We're pretty much going right from here right to there. So as soon as the podcast wraps up, we're going right down to the loft tonight. So
And then it's 12
Pretty
hours,
exciting.
7 movies.
that's right.
Scream-O-Rama.
So how is that iTunes thing coming along?
Well, I figured I'll start that up when the show comes back on in 3 weeks. Because why start it and then immediately take a vacation?
Yeah.
I figure you put on
Yeah.
iTunes and then every week it's coming out and continuous. So, but it's going to
That's true.
happen. GMR Podcast will be on iTunes as of March.
So JJ said this show seems like it's tailored to him because we talk about things he likes,
Perfect.
like comic books.
We
and-
talk more about JJ then? What do you think?
So I figured, yeah, that's what I usually do. Apparently, this show is all mostly geared for JJ because he's a loyal viewer.
He is a loyal viewer. He's a great friend,
Picking
too.
up my friend Sarah, she's started listening to the podcast. She thinks it reminds her of Random Access because she wasn't around when we were
Instant access.
doing Instant Access or
Right.
the new show, this is more like the new show.
Kinda, yeah.
A little more focused. Like we have ideas. I don't know. The new show was just like,
Well,
well, let's
earlier
just
in
go
the
out
day.
there and we'll show this video and we'll show that video.
Well, it was about claiming that time slot.
Yeah, it's our time.
So 3 to 6 is ours. I don't care that this is
If we could-
Dan's show.
If we could have just
This is
pissed on
our
it and
time.
reserved it that way, we would have, but it's a little more involved in that.
Let me get my JJ segment. Have you seen JJ? He's looking pretty good. I think he's like about down to 160 pounds. He's looking pretty good. How about his hair? He's got
I
great
like
hair.
his hair. He's got,
I know,
he's
he's
got
looking
that
awesome.
cool mohawk thing going on, man.
Yeah,
That
JJ.
I liked it.
He's looking really good these days. JJ Styles.
Will he be going into the Big Brother house this season?
I don't think so. He's
wow,
planning on
never
going
asked
on tour this summer.
Tour. I was listening to the earlier podcasts, and you were saying by summer it was a Dilly Gaff tour.
Well, this tour might be a little bit delayed. I don't know. We still got the show coming up on March 2nd. But we
That's
got our
just a couple
first
weeks
rehearsal yesterday in like 3 weeks, so we got to make up for a little bit of lost time, get it tight. That's really all I can say about that. March 2nd, we're going to be playing with Radiation Suits and Freedom Assault. Freedom Assault, that's right. They've just been added to that bill. It should be pretty good. The Breakfast Club. The River's Edge. It is the River's Edge. JJ scolded me on that.
What, is that the name of the bar?
That's the name of the bar. Because I kept wanting to call it the River's Edge, but it didn't sound right, so I called it the River's Lounge. It might be the River's Edge Lounge. I don't know. Anyway, it's the River's Edge.
It's a really cool bar.
Down on Flowing Wells, past Wetmore.
Big. They got some nice pool tables in there, some vintage video games to play. What was that one you guys were doing?
We were playing the Simpsons fighting games.
Yeah, Simpsons,
The
fighting
Simpsons,
games.
the video game.
Amazing. And they got
4
like 3 or 4
players.
pool tables there, which is what I do. I like to play pool. I can't do those video games. I'm not coordinated enough.
That's 11:30
It's really all about
or
how many
11
quarters
o'clock.
you have.
Saturday, March 2nd.
Well, if I can win the
Go,
table,
go.
which most of the time
If
happens,
I gave you a
then-
roll of quarters,
then
you
I,
could
then
play
I,
that
then
game.
I can hang on to it and let other people pay the
Yeah,
quarters,
it's
and
one
I
of
still
those
get to play.
games where you keep putting in the quarter and you can continue
Yeah.
and continue and continue. They also have Space Harrier, which is another one of those games. The more
Oh,
quarters you
yeah.
put in, the more lives you get.
And the harder the game comes.
Well, the game was always it gets progressively harder. Obviously, you know.
Quarter will last like not even 25
Yeah, but you put
seconds.
enough quarters in, you're going in with like 38 guys. You know, I mean, think about it. 38 quarters. That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
But it's well worth it, I tell you.
Are people putting that much money into the Skyrim arcade games?
Oh,
I don't think those exist.
No,
See, that's the problem.
no.
Is everything's
you would
home
have to
now.
put hundreds and hundreds of dollars in the Skyrim if it were that kind of game. Of course, I never really die that often. You know, usually I die by my own hand. You know, I'm like way up there in a mountain or doing something crazy. You know, then
He likes to
fall
ride horses
500
up
feet.
cliffs of ice to see
Yeah.
how far they can go up.
I like to test the limits of the Skyrim.
And a major horse
horses.
character in this game, which you think would be like the top horse of all, which it is, you know, in the game. I can't
A
think
lot
of
of hit points.
Yeah,
What's
lots.
the name of that character? It's that horse.
Night something.
Night Shadow or something.
Something
like
like that.
I can't
Well,
believe I
couldn't
I wish I
climb
were there
mountains as
now.
well as a horse you could steal. You know, you just jump on a horse and you just take
Or maybe the horse is smarter and is like, I'm not going to go up that mountain that far. I'm only going to go this far. Screw you. I'm not even going to try. Maybe that's it. Let's just think. I'm going to think it's that way.
There were some good times, though.
Shadowmare.
Shadowmare, that's the name of the horse. Excellent horse too. Excellent horse.
Is Mr. Ed in the game?
Mr. Ed, no, but
No, but you know when your voice, Marty's the only one that's making that thing go blur blur blur.
is that right?
Well,
Yeah.
that's the only. It's on.
Yeah.
See, I'm right here, but also here, and then you guys are these top two.
Oh, I
Wow.
see.
That's interesting.
So, I'm.
We're talking about the sound waves.
So we all have our own separate channels.
Yeah.
So theoretically, we could just cut you out, just like
Yeah.
that. Just like, okay,
he's
Mark
on
was
2,
making
then
no
I'm on
sense,
1.
so let's just cut that part out.
I'm number 1.
He was talking about something he shouldn't have been talking about. Zip, Mark's gone, but we're still there.
Yeah, if everybody's talking all at the same time, you can separate that now.
Wow.
You could break it down and stretch it out and make, that guy's, wow.
So what's the bottom one then? Is that
I never
overall
put that much effort.
the
No, but
bottom
we
on the blue
could.
screen?
Good.
Conceivably, if we had like a
That's
crew,
just that one, because it's lit up. See.
you can switch between them. So that one's really mine. No, it's yours.
So do you have
Yeah,
one
I'm the
that's
bottom.
overall like a mix of all three?
Oh, make,
No, because
No.
you got to create a mix down. It's just recording the different channels.
So this computer is way smarter than I'll ever be.
Well, it's basically got 3 USB mics plugged in the back. It's kind of the same principle as public access. It's just all digital.
Nice.
So today, I had to take the bus downtown to get your phone number.
Wow.
I knew the last 4 digits, and Vicky was at the front desk. Because those are hours apparently 2 to close or whatever.
This is one of the days that the studio's open.
To the public. One of the days it's open to the public, so I took advantage of it. And I knew the last 4 digits, so I figured no matter who was at the desk, I knew that much of it. Isn't like, oh, I'm not authorized to give this number. Plus, most of the time she sees you, me and Mark are with you.
Mm-hmm.
So, except for when you're dropping off whatever shows, but then you're in and out,
Yeah.
So I figured she had no problem with it, and she gave me the number, so now we're here. That's my story. It's not that exciting, but I still felt like I should tell it.
Have you been down to the studio lately and seen the railroad tracks that are sticking out there in front?
Oh,
It's
yeah,
horrible.
the trolley's going to go right in front of the
Yeah.
place.
They got it all tore
Really,
up and
it's
everything.
pretty interesting.
But they cut short of digging right in front of public access because they got to get the truck out of there to go do rodeo week. Is the rodeo?
Yeah.
And,
Oh,
'Cause it's
rodeo.
a 5,000-pound truck.
yeah. And it
And-
needs ground to drive on.
And apparently, those big metal plates they put in the road, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Apparently, those are only, the specs in those are like 2,000 pounds. So,
And they're only for residential.
yeah, and I'm sure it's like a zoning thing. Because I would think they could probably roll that truck over that, but who knows. Anyway, so they're working with the studio, so that's good. Public access. And now there's 2 new parking spaces right in front of the building.
Really?
It's crazy.
Yeah, you know where the big pile is? Where they had the makings of a great big adobe wall if you wanted to build one?
Yeah.
Because there's 2 slots here where 2 cars are parked right out in front, right on the street, or right on the sidewalk's gone, but it's stacked up against the building.
Yeah. Save the sidewalk foundation.
We should
it's
start a
still there.
foundation for that and take donations.
You know what, though?
Yeah,
All
but
the stuff.
just as long as they
Here
don't-
was my problem with it,
Send it to
because
me.
As
Al
long as they
Franken.
don't auction it off.
it was really the cement that was over the sidewalk that was what was valuable, right? Because it had all those old. We're going to have to
those
figure
old
out when
writings.
they do it again and go down there and tag it again.
Yeah. Just write the old stuff in again.
Did you ever take a picture of it? Do you know of any pictures that exist?
Well, it was so hard to get a good image of that.
But still,
I
you
never
don't know
did.
of any?
I might have the little, yeah.
Yeah, kind of. I always wish like I had documented stuff like that. Like when I was a kid, I wish I'd have taken like pictures of like the way the streets look and shit, because they all look different. And I'm old.
That's all amplified, the helicopters.
Oh, yeah.
You
I'll
could
listen
hear
to
the
dripping
helicopter
water
over
back
the
here or
mics?
something.
Well, yeah, it's like wearing amplifier on your head.
Oh, I thought you heard the helicopter that just flew
Yeah, I
overhead
did. It was all amped up.
through these mics.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
See, if you stuck that microphone into your earphone, you get this wonderful feedback. Don't do it. No. Don't do it, though. No.
That's what we need, more feedback on this show.
We haven't had any feedback, but, JJ left a message on one of the episodes.
Oh?
And he, I don't know if he did it, but somebody gave a thumbs up to one of the podcasts. So
Cool.
I was going to, but I
finally
wasn't a
start-
member of. I think you got to be a member or something to vote.
Oh, you have to have a YouTube account, but it's free.
I don't have a YouTube
Oh,
account.
you should get one. That'll make it. Maybe that's the problem you had.
No, that's what they told me about getting Facebook, and then all of a sudden,
You
there's
mean
thousands of
MySpace?
people who want to be my friends.
Well,
and I
YouTube's
don't want to.
different than Facebook.
Well, why wouldn't you want thousands of friends?
Well, come on.
Come on.
They're
I mean,
limited.
it's like
My free email account immediately fills up with all this crap. No, I'm
So?
dropping Facebook. I'm gonna take it out and
Marty, you're on Facebook, right?
Yes.
See? Marty's on Facebook.
Yeah, but I don't know how to edit. Nobody ever.
You don't know how to what?
I don't know how to work these controls.
I'm sure there's a PDA on it, right? Is that what they call it?
What is a PDA?
Am I right?
See, these
Marty,
are things I don't
I'm asking
know.
What does that
question.
stand for?
Yes.
What does that stand for? See, I'm wrong. What is that thing where it's like, where you a file where you just read it, like the instructions, the whatever.
Oh, a PDF.
PDF.
Ah,
okay.
well, that just made the whole difference between PDA
You know
and
what a PDF is?
That's 7 more digits down the alphabet beyond A. No.
Ladies
I'm
and
sure F
gentlemen,
means
Mark
file.
Brady, Mark Randall Brady. So we do have an R here.
Yeah, I'm archivable, dude.
Another comment JJ said was that we need Ray. The ones without Ray like suck to him, or there's just something missing. And I agree. That's why we started this. You know. So I was checking out that Mad Men podcast about, it's all about wrestling. Obviously, what else would it be about? And there's this wrestling group called The Shield, and I know you don't watch wrestling, Marty. But this guy on the Mad Men show said that one of the members to him was a parody. Wow.
What is
That's
this?
weird. Could you freeze that? What is that? Oh, there I am. The monster.
Wow. There's Big Gene.
Man, I was big back then, wasn't
You're
I?
huge. You're like
The way I rolled
7
around that
foot,
corner.
7'9", and like at least 390 pounds, if not 420 solid muscle.
So that was an interesting podcast, in other words.
Yes, he was saying though that the Shield guy to him was a parody of one of the McPoyles when they robbed when they took the gang hostage. You know what I'm talking about.
Big Poils, they're a classic family.
One of the guys, not all three there are three of them, but one of the guys looks kind of like him, and I guess he kind of gets that face pose or whatever. And in his mind, somebody at WWE saw that episode and said, "Hey, let's create a character that looks like that."
That's funny.
It is funny, and I thought you might get a kick out of it.
So you'll be continuing listening to that show?
Yes,
That's
I
a
would
good
like
one.
to make that one of the regulars. If I had a smartphone or something like that, or a computer, that'd be on my download, just regular download list. I listened to that first. I'm going to have plenty of time to catch up while you're on vacation.
Exactly.
I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go crazy. I can pretend to have podcasts. I can have pretend podcasts. JJ thought we should Skype or do something. And I'm like, well, Marty's not going to want to do
You're
that.
gonna be on vacation. You don't.
Yeah,
want to
not during vacation.
That's what I said.
That's what
Exactly.
vacation's for. Is to
I mean, if we had like communicators or something, we could, if it were like real easy, we'd be like, hey, Marty, what's going on? We could do like I don't know. Yeah, you're going to be on vacation. There's going to be a time, yeah.
And then I'll come back and it'll be 10 weeks to Comic-Con. So was it 13 weeks right now?
Oh, I've lost track.
13, 14?
It's either 13
I know it's
or
under
12.
100 days.
So if he's coming back, yeah, it's got to be 13 because
You need one of those advent
3
calendar
weeks.
things for they do for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Get one of those for Comic-Con.
And it's no more weeks to our Comic-Con warm-up event activity, which is tonight's Scream-O-Rama. It's basically
Scream-O-Rama, it's
getting
finally
ready.
here.
I look at it as a pre-Comic-Con warm-up
Yeah.
event.
Let's see. The exhibition hall, which is the
That's the main
floor.
room.
That's
Yeah,
where all
main
the
floor.
dealers are.
That's Thursday. Starts at 4 to 9. It's an early day there.
Yeah, that's the preview.
Actually, it's a pretty late night. That's the latest the hall is open at night, that first night. And then it's 4 to 9. So that's so that first day, yeah, that's 5 hours. And then it's 10 to 7. So that's 9 hours. 10 to 7 Friday and Saturday, and then 10 to 5 on the final day.
Yeah, because Sunday's the half day.
Yeah, but to get to some of the other events that are like upstairs that are, what were you talking about? Like,
You just go upstairs.
yeah. So I mean, you don't even
Get
have to
on
go
the
through that.
But
escalator.
once the floor stops, there's all these
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, once the floor stops, there's still got to be stuff going on
in
somewhere.
the hotels.
Oh, yeah, there's always something
What was
going
that?
on.
What the
Party
heck was
going on.
Your
that?
notes.
My notes. Oh no, not my notes. And the registration, whatever that means.
Means you got to
Thursday,
register.
noon to 9 p.m.
That's where you can get your ticket.
Oh, okay. They're still selling tickets up to 7 p.m. So, yeah, you can buy your ticket at noon and an hour before the shows.
More expensive day of, though.
Yeah. And the programming hours for the North Building are 6:30 to 11:30 on Thursday, 10:30 to 11:30 on Friday and Saturday, and 10:30 to 5:30 on let's call that Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
Okay, it's
And the
official,
programming
Sunday.
hours for the Hyatt Regency are 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. on Thursday, 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. Friday and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday.
This Sunday, everything ends.
And the Renaissance, pretty
I
similar.
thought you were going to say the Ronstadt Center.
Is it the Renaissance?
Yes.
That's 6:30 to 2 a.m.
Did we even go in there?
No, I think that's where that show was, the
Oh,
Marvel
that
vs.
other one.
Capcom.
That's right.
I believe that's where it was. I don't really know where that is in
All
my
I know
mind.
is it was underground and it was dark. And
Yeah, it was dark out, and I really don't know how I got
It
there.
was dark in.
And I was tired. That was like the end of the day.
It was. You were
running
like, I don't want
down.
to stand up anymore.
I mean, if we could have got a seat, I would have sat there, but place was jammed. And I was just like, screw it, I'm going home. And then JJ's like, screw it, I'm going to go with you. And then you and Paul showed up much later.
That's right.
Yeah, that's how it happened. So their programming is 2 a.m. Let's see, Thursday it's 6:30 to 2 a.m. 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. on Friday, 1 p.m. to 2 a.m. on Saturday, and nothing on Sunday. So that's the Phoenix Comic-Con hours. I imagine they'll be the same this year.
I would suspect.
Wow, I'm like terrifyingly caffeined up at this point. I drank a bunch of Mountain Dew.
Well, do you think you're going to have a Mountain Dew crash?
I don't know.
Is there any of that Mountain Dew left? Or is it all
No,
gone?
I chugged that.
You have Mountain Dew and you weren't even going to share any with us, man.
Yeah.
I was saving it before the show.
I had to get it in me. So let me get this out of the way. Do you mind if I do a few plugs and whatnot? Unless you got some. All right, it's a lull in the conversation. So the other night I saw a show last Saturday. I saw a show at Riley's Irish Pub. Zero Defects played there. It was pretty cool. Bunch of other bands. They had like a hot dog guy out front. Bud Light Ultra or Bud Light Platinum for like $2. I don't know what it was, but they ran out of those. And he met the guy who runs the place. Gonna start doing punk shows there, paying people like $100
Nice.
and not charging to get in. That's like unheard of. The guy bought me a beer named Tom, bought us hot dogs. It was a pretty fun show. And we might be playing there at some point. And let me say this, it is the River's Edge Lounge.
Yeah, it was from the Missing podcast where we had the massive Crispin Glover River's Edge discussion.
Yeah. I'll be radiation suits. I already said this, radiation suits, Freedom Assault, and Dillygaff, March 2nd. Let me see, March 16th at The Rock, Radiation Suits is going to be playing. That's pretty exciting. That's a good show.
Those guys are awesome, too.
Plenty of stuff to talk about on the next podcast. That's good.
Yes.
Keeping everybody updated on the happenings.
While you're up in the Himalayas chasing Bigfoot Yetis,
Yes.
or at least you said something about you're looking for inner Earth and you're the hollow and you go to the North Pole.
And then
it
I
just
got
goes
like
around.
10 minutes on riding the bus or something I could do. And then we could talk more about movies.
Hey, how about that bus we came
Ric
over on?
Flair. That's fine. Okay. What about that bus, Mark?
We were on the bus, and we were on our way over to the. Where was it? Which one was that? Was that the first one from Ronstadt going to U of A? I think. Anyway, there's people on.
There were people on the bus.
Yeah, we had to hurry to get onto it because she was getting ready to leave. So we get on, and then then she lets this guy on. It's got this wheel thing, that metal thing with stuff in it. Weighted down.
One of those wheeled things with stuff in it.
You know the type.
Yeah, you've seen those people.
Yeah, and he
What's
was
wrong
like,
with
working
them?
his way
The
through, like,
wheels.
excuse me and all that. And he went to go take it up the
He
steps.
had a metal cart. This is we were on our way home after I met Mark downtown to get your phone number.
Oh, that's where it was. Okay.
I had to get your phone number, so I met him downtown. And then we
That
were
was
taking
4
the bus
hours
back.
ago.
That was wow. Cool.
That was a long time ago, yeah.
Good thing I got a day
every day
pass.
I'm hustling, Marty. You wouldn't believe how much I hustle these days compared to, let's say, a year ago.
That's good. It's good.
Now, don't start
So
that
this guy with a
yawning.
metal cart.
Yeah, that was good that you yawned a half hour ago, and it took me a half hour to yawn.
Get the reflex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need a page.
We do have a long ways to go
It's
tonight.
a long road to nowhere.
And you had
We're
an
leaving
early start.
soon. I
Oh
did.
yeah,
I did.
yeah. You've been up since how long? now?
I've been up since about 4:30.
about 4:30.
Yeah, I woke him up.
But
with
you
the
were
phone
up significantly earlier than that. So I figured, well,
Yeah.
if they've been up that long, then I
I've been
can
up
make
since
it.
6:30 this morning.
6:30.
Wreck
God
and the
sake.
Manitou might mess with me a little bit. So Cinematic Titanic announced that this will be their final year today. So,
That's sad.
yeah, well,
Well, they are
They did
getting
s-
up there.
and they did say it was really only a 5-year project anyways, so
Well, that's how Gilligan's Island started. Was just a 3-hour tour? So
hopefully
how
we'll
long
get
have they
another.
been doing the Cinematic
This will be
Titanic?
year 6 now. This
So
is
they
year
pushed
6.
it.
Yeah, they
an
pushed
extra
it.
year.
It's amazing how well Marianne stood the test of time
Yeah.
over those 3 hours.
So hopefully we'll get a Phoenix performance this year.
They had a good response. That place was packed when we went.
Yeah. Those were good seats too.
Yeah.
Were we in the front row or?
No, we were like 3 rows back, but
It felt like it.
and
talk
we had
about
bought our
NSK?
tickets at different
Mhm.
times, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we had
And,
the
and we
perfect
still
seats,
had
man.
like seats next
And
to each
somehow
other.
Mark got the one.
I got the best seat of
And it
all.
was weird. It was weird.
I was trying to give it to Gene because he paid for the ticket. Man, I didn't pay.
I did pay. Did I pay for his ticket that year?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
And he signed my ticket, and I lost that a long time ago. It's really sad. I used to have this system of putting everything in corn dog boxes, but then
This is so tasty.
I don't
This
get
is my
food stamps
favorite.
anymore. And besides, people have rummaged through my corn dog boxes. It's a sad life. So tell us about your freaking bus story. Continue with your bus story.
I thought that was the bus.
No,
story.
I took it over.
I thought we'd
Yeah,
moved
So
I
on.
was
to
what
waiting.
happened?
I was
This guy
waiting
had
for
a
you to
big
continue.
cart. This guy
Caffeine
had a big
content.
cart, and he was wheeling it. You know, he had like his backpack. He had all this, like this big old bag, duffel bag or something like that,
That was
on
heavy.
this big old cart, right?
And
he-
it was
he-
thin enough
and
to
he-
get through up the steps.
And he picked it up and put it on the, there was nowhere to sit, so he picked it up and put it on the, the back steps. Marty hasn't ridden the bus in years, but he probably remembers.
Probably hasn't changed much.
Not a whole lot.
Not
Not
a
a
whole
whole
lot,
lot. Some of
no.
those buses are probably still on the line.
Yeah, and some chick was on a cell phone, had her feet hanging out
This
there. and-
Mexican girl, and he bumped into her knee or some shit, and he's like, "Excuse me," or something. And then she's like, starts going off on him and calling him a fucking ugly motherfucker, and and fucking and he's like, "I said excuse me," and then they started fucking go back and forth like she's gonna fucking kill him or some shit. And he's calling her a bitch, and the bus driver wants to throw them both off the bus, and then they kind of shut up.
Yeah, he stopped the bus, and he said, he told him like,
Just
"You guys take it outside."
And of course, no. And this guy had just gotten on the bus, so
Yeah,
why,
just got
why
on.
would you want to get involved in a fucking argument? I would just shut up and say, "Oh, I'm sorry," whatever. I ain't
Horrible.
gonna get no. Yeah, and plus I don't want to mess with some crazy girl who's willing to fight because you bumped into her. Who wants that? Who needs that? Why did I say
Well, anyway,
JJ?
that was the comedy relief for the ride.
I didn't find it that entertaining.
Well, I didn't find it that entertaining, but it was at least diverting.
Reminds me of something that happened in the Jam Space last night. So this guy, I'm not going to use any names here, comes in. He's hanging out, bought some beer. Yeah, a good friend of the Jam Space. Comes in, he's hanging out. And then this other guy shows up. He just wants to hang out, see what's going on. And he's like, hey, what's going on? And the guy's like, oh, nothing. And he's like, you like to steal, huh? And he's like, what? And he's like, well, your mom didn't pay me the money she owes me. And he's like, you don't steal from my family. You don't steal from my family. And then soon it escalated where this guy's going to whip the other guy's ass, right? And he could have easily done it. He's like a skinny little kid. And so that went into the hall. That just reminded me of that story. Just
So they took
random
it out in the
fights.
hallway?
Yeah. And then the other kid, the smaller kid, ran away.
Good times.
Good times.
So
Exciting.
there wasn't blood
and
smears
the
up
whole
and down the
time,
hallway?
JJ's sitting on the couch.
JJ shitting on the couch.
He's sitting on the arm of the couch
You
by
think
the
that
door.
would be the highlight of the story there?
It would be, if that's what I said.
We're back to JJ.
It's all about JJ.
It's all about
Really,
JJ.
when you think about it, none of this would be happening if it wasn't for JJ. You know what I mean? Oh, this time last week in the podcast, I was like, I had nothing to say. I remember crickets and stuff. That caffeine has really gone to my head,
That's good.
I must say.
That's good.
I might be overstimulated at this point.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
So I could see it like 1:30 tonight in the morning, man. Gene's going to be
He'd
out
be
on-
like,
on the
I'm
floor.
going to go sleep in the car.
Yeah, I was crashing the car, man.
Like you're not going
Oh, yawn.
You know, won't be the survivor. It is kind of like a horror movie itself. Will you be one of the survivors at the end, or will you get
And by
killed?
the end of the night, we bonded with 50 other people.
Yeah, I've been killed several times at this thing. Haven't made it all the way through. So,
I will be one of the oldest survivors there.
and then we get to go up and get our picture taken at the end. So,
This would be a good time for me to give some shout-outs to
yeah,
some of
'cause
our
we're gonna
loyal
wrap-
listeners.
We're gonna wrap this up here pretty soon.
Oh, yeah.
so-
What?
Well, we're coming up on 40 minutes, and well, we're gonna have to hit the road here pretty soon. So,
All right. Well, let me say this. Hey to Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
She's one of our new listeners.
new
Alex.
listeners.
Alex
New
just
listener,
found
longtime
us.
friend, new
Alex
listener.
just found us on
First time caller.
First time caller.
Alex just found us on not Facebook, but he just found
Face
us on
FaceTube.
YouTube. FaceTube, YouTube,
U-book.
my
You tweet
my
and Twitter
my
and
face,
Twitter.
My
you
face.
my
My
tube,
face? What?
My face too.
and of course TC, our audio guy, and the lovely Star, without whom that's what I'm trying to say. Without whom we would not have TC. I don't think.
And as like last week, we have the fourth person who hasn't said anything yet, because then we would have to pay them if they talked. So our engineer's doing a good job by remaining quiet for the entire hour.
Duct tape helps.
Oh,
It-
so
it
let
does.
me get this out here then. Finish up my bus stories. I know everybody's really curious on my
Rode the
bus
bus more than
stories.
once today, I'll tell you would.
Tell you what.
So, oh yeah, I saw a license plate the other day. This is not a bus story, but I saw a license plate the other day that said,
I miss the bus stories.
like POW, right? It was like POW.
I've seen
it-
those plates at POW,
Oh,
yeah.
And then it had like a piece
Purple
of
Heart?
barbed wire between it
Yep.
and like 3 numbers after it. This is the first time I'd ever seen that. Apparently, this is a little hat to you two. Oh, I also saw Glenn Stockelberg's Love Child on the bus today as we were coming over here. And let me say one more thing that I wanted to say.
Tell you what.
Okay, I know it's just me jibber jabbing most of this episode here.
You had a lot to say this week.
I do. I've been writing notes. I've been thinking about it.
So that's
And-
what
and
that
riding
is.
the bus.
Those were notes.
And riding the bus. Every day I'm hustling.
You made
I
me
swear
ride on
to
the bus.
God.
It was hard.
Trying to keep my band together, trying to keep everything on track. Because I realized if I don't do it, nobody will.
That's right.
Nobody's gonna come do this for me. Nobody's gonna. So I watched Impractical Jokers at Mark's house on demand
That's funny.
from True TV. which is like one of the guys from Tell 'Em Steve Dave, Brian Quinn,
Yes.
and I saw what his face looked like, and it totally was a letdown because in my mind he was like a ginger or something with curly red hair, but no, he's like this kind of fat dude with getting fat, middle-aged dude
Italian mob
with black hair. Anyway, I told JJ this story, and he's like, "Oh, you have podcast post something let down or something." I'm like, "What?"
Oh, there's a term for it.
Well, I guess there is, because now I'll never be able to listen to the podcast again without seeing his real face. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Instead of the guy,
You
instead of the character
you
I
could have
created
selective
in my
memory
head.
wipe. They can do that with chemicals. They can inject and just strike out just certain memories.
Because I've listened to a lot of Tell 'Em Steve Dave. It's like my favorite podcast next to Mad Men and I Sell Comics. And, of course, GMR, which I don't really make a priority to listen to right away because I'm doing it, you know. Like, I haven't had a chance to listen to whatever I have on my iPod because got distracted with other things. Yeah, I saw that movie Vulgar, too. You seen that?
Oh, I've seen it.
Oh, that's horrible.
What movie? Which
It's a
one is
horrible
this?
story. It's
That's
a
the movie Brian Johnson
movie
made.
directed by Brian Johnson, the guy with the beard in Comic Book Men.
Yeah.
This is before he had a beard. He looked like way different, like skinny in shape. Something really must have happened to him. I don't know what the hell went wrong.
Yeah, he got
with
fat
him.
and ugly.
Well, he wasn't that attractive to begin with. But who am I to say that? And then like Brian or Walt Flanagan's in it as what was he? A caddy. Kevin Smith is in it as a gay producer of some sort.
What's the name of
It
this movie?
sounds like it would be entertaining.
It is,
It
but
is in a weird way.
And it's a horrible, horrible story.
What's it called again?
It's
Vulgar?
called Vulgar.
Vulgar.
It stars the guy, like almost all the people, I would say, from, I didn't see all the people from Clerks in it, but it was starred the guy from Clerks who played Dante, and he was Flappy the Clown. And he proceeds to, he's not making much money as at the clown thing, and he's treated like shit by the people in his neighborhood. Somewhere in Jersey. I assume everything takes place in Jersey because it's a Kevin Smith production.
He from Jersey?
And so then he comes up with this brilliant idea where he's going to do adult parties, or he's going to do bachelor parties and come in and be like this crazy, like a scantily dressed. Anyway, this is crazy, stupid idea. And he does this, and immediately he's like kidnapped and gang raped by a father and his two incestuous sons. And they proceed to rape him in the mouth and film the whole thing.
They should show this at the Scream-O-Rama.
It's a horrible, horrible, up to this point. And Brian Johnson, I hate to say it, he directed this movie. Horrible actor. You know what I mean?
When was this movie made?
Oh, about 10 years ago.
And Brian Quinn's in it as a cop. Like I was
Oh,
looking through. It's hard to read the names on the little iPod. But it's really a horrible movie. And then in the end, he
I want to see part 2.
oh, there's a part 2?
No.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I
We
think
should write part 2.
and Scott Mosier, the guy who produced a lot of these movies, has started this Smodcast with Kevin Smith. Like his name is he might even been that character who was the landlord. His mother treated him like shit, and just like everything he did was garbage. And she was horrible. I don't know why he kept going to see her. Right? What a horrible, horrible woman.
Maybe she make
Horrible,
really good
horrible
cookies,
story.
man. Do you ever think about that? I bet she makes the best damn chocolate chip cookies you
I didn't
ever
see any
eaten.
cookies in that movie.
Well, then she's a bitch.
And then he's going to a party, and he decides to. There's like a standoff with the police. A father is holding this girl hostage, and then he sneaks in the house and bashes him and kills him, and becomes a hero. Gets his own show, which draws the attention of the guy who raped him in the first place.
Was the IRA
And then they
involved?
start blackmailing him, and then they don't give them the movie they said they had, the only copy. You never give blackmailers the money because they know they're lying. They're just going to keep jerking you along.
Well, they might. You never know.
And of course, it all wraps up real nice. I've already spoiled.
wraps up
should
real nice.
I continue to spoil the movie for him, Marty?
No, we'll let them seek it out.
Oh
and
yeah,
figure out
vulgar,
the ending.
vulgar. If you like comic book men,
Get the unrated
or
version.
Clerks, I would recommend watching it. I watched in like 10 segments. I'd watch like a little bit.
It
and then
is hard to watch all in one continuous stretch.
I was just amazed at Brian Johnson because I'd seen him on like Clerks when he was skinny, but to see him like starring in a movie, it was interesting. Interesting.
And with that, we're about to go watch 7 movies in a row. None of them are vulgar, which is disappointing. But maybe at the second Scream-O-Rama this year, vulgar will be the last movie.
Maybe we could mention it.
And we should, because it's kind of a horror movie.
I figure by the end of the night we'll have
Sounds-
bonded. We'll have bonded with the people there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Oh,
not
they'll
drinking.
remember us.
I'm not drinking, so my charisma is probably not going to jump up much higher than it is now. Although I'm pretty jammed up right now as far as soda goes.
You're jamming me up, bro.
I'm pretty.
Yeah, you're pretty Jim Jam on the
Yeah,
film plan.
at least I got all my notes out.
That's right. My
You
notes.
got all your nuts out.
And we'll see you, or
Whoa.
you'll hear us
Not that.
in 3 weeks.